We'll see if this phone holds. I got a makeshift phone holder right now. I mean, it's a phone holder, but it's broken. So I got it wedged into the OSHA handle. Good morning, happy post-Thanksgiving. If you guys jump on, I am heading to go see my brother that I have not seen in I don't know how long, a few months. So I try not to, he's a busy person, so I try not to bother him, you know. So far so good. Got my GPS going. Full take the gas.
Take the next right onto South Sprinkle Road.
Alrighty, I will. Whoever did the GPS is a funny guy because he knows men don't like taking directions from women. But hey, that's a joke. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. Alright, I'm hoping I can do this, guys. We're off.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto I-94 Business Loop East.
Don't rear end me, bro. Don't rear end me.
At the light, turn right onto I-94 Business Loop East.
Alright. Here we go. Whoa, that was a hole, bro.
In half a mile, use the right 2 lanes to take the ramp to Battle Creek.
Alrighty, so hope you guys are having a good holiday. I had a very calming, relaxing holiday. Didn't do anything. Stayed at the house. Did some laundry. Dropped off Cassandra's moving boxes. I didn't ask to go visit anybody. As you guys know right now.
Use the right 2 lanes to take the ramp to Battle Creek.
Oh, okay. It's hard to see the 2 lanes because there's snow on the ground. But
continue for half a mile.
really, if you guys are out and about, please be very careful. As I said, I'm not going to read the comments or phone falls, it falls, and I'm just going to just ride along. But yeah, it's been a minute since I did an upload of me just talking, doing thoughts and stuff like that. So that's what this one will be. It's about an hour and a half ride to my brother's house from where I stay. So that's what we're going to do. Probably very cliche, but
continue on I-94 East for 7
cars
miles.
already on the side of the road. Please be very careful, guys. If you're out and about, if you're a beginner driver, I recommend go out there and some back roads and see what your car can do. Slide around. Know what the feeling of losing control it feels like. So if you lose control in a controlled environment, at least you can if you slide out of control in the Walmart parking lot, you're less likely to fall in the ditch. If you know the feeling of that inertia, when you lose control and you know you're not in control of the vehicle anymore, it's always a good skill to have. But back to what I was saying, it'll be cliche what I'm talking about today. Did you finish or did you complete any of the goals that you set for at the beginning of this year? It's now going on December 2025 is almost over. And I'm hoping you guys completed some of your goals, reached some of your expectations and or, blew them out of water. You know, did way more than you expected. I know I did. Did not see myself where I am now at the beginning of the year. Um, my channel's fairly new. I just started posting this year. So if you go back to the beginning of this channel, which was started in March of this year, you can see the growth that I had from starting the channel to where I am now. Like I said before, really I'm just using it to grow the platform. I feel like it has been outplayed now. Facebook, same thing happened to Instagram, same thing happened to MySpace, all these other platforms. If you are going to be a true influencer or content creator of some sort, and or in any kind of business that includes the internet, which is 99% of the industry these days, you know, you're going to have to just keep posting, keep growing with the different platforms, different forms of media that are out there that can help you. So the times are changing compared to what it was when I was in high school and when I was in, you know, my 20s. I look back now and there was a lot more TV based, you know, who can get on TV, who can get on the radio and be heard that way. So when the internet hit and the viral sensations started coming around, it really blew the competition out of the water because they didn't know how these people were getting so much coverage, which was through the internet, which was through YouTube. You know, they were doing videos on YouTube. Then they would go and be like, oh, well, let's check out their Facebook, let's check out their MySpace or Instagram. And hence, you know, you start branching out and, you know, collabing with other people that are similar in your interests. So that's why I say always stick to what you're really interested in. Even if you, by all means, you know, follow the trends, do what you got to do as far as trends wise. But always stay, you know, stay connected to what you originally like, you know. I mean, if you do trends, but you also like comic books, you also like vintage clothing, music producers, not so much music itself. You know, just different things. Always keep posting.
In 2 miles, take exit 88 toward Climax.
Always keep posting those, you know, or keep doing those things as well. That way you stay grounded to what you like to do, to who you are. I've been getting back into the writing. I've been getting back into some of the art. I really want to invest time into learning how to use this AI stuff though, so I can possibly get a secondary income and just, you know, start working from home, so I can also do the content creating and podcasting or other stuff, you know, because I feel like it is important. Like later on in life, they don't keep pictures like we used to in photo albums, and you can dig them up. But eventually, in the future, I feel like they're gonna have link albums. You know, like links to different things that you did when you were younger, or your family was. You know, when they were like, "Oh, look, Grandma, when she was Instagram, back when Instagram was still alive. You know, this is all her canastas. You know, all her baskets that she made. You know, that she handmade and she did videos on." So just, you know, like I said, it's important to keep a digital footprint as well. I know people want us to get away from it, which is cool and all, you know, take your days off from the internet, take your days off from society. But always, I mean, you know, do what you can do to make you happy.
In a half mile, take exit 88 toward Climax.
Sorry guys, my exit's coming up, so I'm trying to pay attention. So in the comments down below, just write down, you know, did you accomplish your goals for this year? If not, it's okay if you didn't. You know, at least you're honest, and you can say that you'll be accomplishing them next year, you know, or aiming for them next year.
Take exit 88, then turn right onto South 40th Street. stop sign, turn right onto South 40th Street, then turn left onto East Michigan Avenue. Take the next left onto East Michigan Avenue.
Come on, what are you doing?
Continue on East Michigan Avenue for 4 miles.
Ooh, it's getting kind of rough. All right. So yeah, like I said, beginning of the year sucked. Finally I was able to come home and start fresh. No job, no where to stay. I was staying at a house that belonged to the state. So once I got my feet up off the ground, then they would allow me to, move out. So don't ever think that you're at your rock bottom, because you never know. You never know where life will take you. So, it's always important to stay positive, and I try to remind people that it's very important to keep in mind that life is always full of ups and downs. People always tell us like, "Oh man, life is like a circle," and it really is. Like, I mean, when you're up, you're great, you're awesome, you feel the best, and you don't think anything's gonna ever happen, or at least you don't hope anything's ever gonna happen. But the reality is, like, everyone's luck runs out, or everyone gets a patch of bad luck, or karma, or coincidences, whatever you want to call it. But it happens, right? Regardless what people may say or think, religiously or not, like, it happens. So I always tell people, like, be prepared. Why not be prepared for it? Why not assume it's gonna happen? Be prepared it's gonna happen, and just go from there. Like, face it, look at it as your next challenge, and just see what's gonna happen after that. I mean, that's all this life is really about. I mean, people bitch and moan and complain that it's like, oh man, it's so hard right now. Like, that's cool. That means when you succeed, when you get out of that slump or out of that rut, it's going to be that much more valuable. Your victory will be that much more fulfilling. So I just push people, forward. Like, man, let's just keep going, because I would hope that someone will come and do it to me. Running a race or working out, man, get another rep, get another lap, keep going, push harder, don't stop. You got this. You guys got this for real. I hate seeing individuals that their potential die off because of someone else's ill views or ill habits of feeding and feeling off of the negativity that they bring into other people's lives. It's sad. My parents, who taught me, and just to be tough regarding life and other people in life that are going to be always bringing the negative, and it helped me out a lot in life. So I'm grateful for that. Took me on a back road detour, the GPS did, because it looked like the highway was closed, but it looks like the highway's open now. So I'm about to jump back on. Other than that, I appreciate everybody that follows me, positive or negative. The negative people, it's always entertaining to fall back into your guys' little rage bait traps. I lose myself in that sometimes, which is fun. I don't talk to many people. I don't text many people, so my interactions on YouTube are about the peak of my day. It's always fun. Hey, Svetlana, what's up? What up? Yeah, just driving to my brother's and then go see what they're going. What he's got going on. I haven't seen him. Well, I haven't seen him in a few months, but I haven't seen his place. So, yeah, just headed that way. Uh, Damn, girl, you are something else. That's all I gotta say. Um, I wish I had a out-facing camera so you guys can see the snow, all the snow, and awesome views of Michigan landscape. So, thank you for staying tuned in. It's pretty boring live, pretty boring upload. Uh, like I said, I'm just kind of glad you guys are around. Glad you guys stick around to see what I'm up to, how life is going. I'll have to go back and see how loud that fan was. I'm sorry, I forgot the heater was on. Like I said, I'm trying out this phone stand. It's holding on so far. Other than that, guys, don't got much going on in life. I'm hoping that I'm not hoping, I know that this coming up year, I'm going to be able to do a bit more, regarding the upcoming business, the upcoming ideas for growth on the channel.
In 600 feet, turn left onto Mercury Drive.
I guess we're turning left on Mercury Drive. So, don't want to mess with the phone too much so it don't fall. So I hope you guys had a great holiday. Thank you again for tuning in. I'm trying to get used to being able to talk on these podcasts for a bit more than just 20 minutes. 10, 20 minutes is usually my maximum time speaking on the fly. I have not made any notes.
At the stop sign, turn left onto Mercury Drive.
I haven't made any notes regarding speaking, on my different uploads, my different videos. And I know other people have asked me or told me like, hey, I want to start recording, I want to start podcasting, or I want to start uploading to YouTube or Instagram or whatever the choice is. And I always tell them what I hear on these other podcasters. They're always like, "Well, just start. Just start recording yourself. If you don't want to upload right off the rip, right off the start, like record yourself
In a
in
quarter
your
mile,
notes.
right onto the I-94 East ramp to Detroit.
Record yourself in your notes laptop, and then get used to you speaking to a crowd, or to an audience,
Turn right onto the I-94 East ramp.
and you can go from there. So I figured I'd start doing the same thing, and I've always had
In a quarter mile, merge onto I-94 East.
I've always had an actor mentality due to my lying capabilities. When I was on a bad route and was always lying to people, even just friends, like I would just lie to my friends just to see if I could get away with it, or practice it, or push my trust with them, like to see, like, oh, these guys trust me this much, and I know it's wrong, and I don't do it anymore.
Continue for 15 miles.
The friends I do have and have stayed in my life, I don't even, see or visit anymore because I'm not allowed to at the moment. So I recommend just practice, just keep going, just do it, just upload some videos. You're gonna get bad comments, you're gonna get people that hate on it or laugh at it or mock it or whatever. But that's in anything you do, You can win the lottery and people are gonna be angry about it. Some people are gonna be happy about it, some are gonna be, or not gonna care. Same if you committed a crime, people are gonna hate it. Some people are gonna try to be understanding, and other people are just not gonna care and move on in your life. Same if when Superman saves the world. Superman saves the world, and people care about it, cry about it, judge it. Then they don't. Then they move on. So it is what it is. Just do what you do. Do what makes you happy. That's how I see it. Do what makes you happy, and life will be all right. We have about 55 minutes still to get to Lansing. Thank you for stopping in, popping by, saying hello. Like I said, I'm not sure where this channel is going to go to. I just know that I wanted to start recording and documenting, everything I did once I got out of prison. Now that I'm out of prison and have been out for close to a year, it's, going to be a battle every day from here on forward to get back, not to where I was at, but to an even better state of mind, a better state of being than when I was, in prison. So, yes, it's a long road. It's be a hard road, but that's why I try to remind people to stay positive. This time last year I was behind bars, and that shit was not fun. Here we are, another car in the ditch. I'm sorry, guys. That sucks. Be careful if you're driving. If you're a new driver, take the time to go and to an empty parking lot, or preferably an empty parking lot, because there's no ditches. But if you have solid flat roads somewhere and you're in the snowy areas, I recommend sliding around so you know what your vehicle feels like. You lose a little bit of control. Just because it's that way you learn how to regain control of your vehicle, or at least maintain some sort of control to that vehicle. I got to tell you guys, I hate that we can't have music playing in the background. Uh, I enjoy my music. That's another reason why I think I don't really upload as much or record myself as much. But you know, I've seen people that play music in their headphones while they're recording and stuff like that. So that might be an idea. But then again, the professionals just focus on the task at hand. So we'll see what happens. Got a couple friends that I'm gonna end up meeting up with eventually, and recording some episodes with them. My plan is to get a laptop. Comment what kind of laptop you guys use if you do any video editing or stuff like that. You know, I'm not trying to go too expensive. Something cheap and easy. Like I said, because I guess I could go a little bit more than just cheap, but if I plan to make money trying to, you know, use apps or AI, but something's got to happen. I always say, think of there was rubber bands that were animals that blew up. I mean, they rubber bands molded into the shape of an animal. I mean, who in their mind looked at the machine that had a circle, little ring, that was injected with the rubber band material, and he said, hey, I know a buddy named Mike that can make this piece of the machine, but it's going to be in the shape of an elephant. And his co-workers were like, what? What the heck are you going to shape the rubber band in an elephant form for? It's a circle. You know, what's the matter? And he goes, exactly. What does it matter? If it's a circle or in the shape of an elephant or in the shape of a giraffe? And what's nuts is that when he told that idea to the guy that made the shape of an elephant, he said, man, you can make these into more shapes, you know? Make them into triangles, you can make them into cars, planes, you know? Anything and everything. So that one idea created jobs and created a market for people to, you know, buy rubber bands that were in different shapes. And then people at school were trading them around, you know, because you were paying like $3, $4 for a bag of like 50 of those rubber bands. You know, you wanted to get all the penguins or all the giraffes or, you know, whatever it was. So yeah, I always tell people, just keep on thinking, always think out loud, you know, it's not a bad idea. The only bad ideas are the ones not shared. And even the ones not shared, like, they eventually will get shared once they get worked on and perfected. I may lose service, guys. I'm almost lost service once already. Shout out Svetlana, gang. Awesome videos. Love you, girl. Yes, I'm about 50 minutes away from my brother's. So, appreciate you guys stopping by, saying hi, dropping a like, a comment, or even a hate comment. That's fine. Yes. Other than that, yeah, you know, my channel is gonna be about the same thing that we've been on lately. You know, my weight loss, just healthier lifestyle choices. Get on here to help you guys grow on your channels. You know, I try to stay on top of, you know, giving you guys comments, likes, and stuff like that. Not too much going on. I'll keep you guys updated regarding when I can go see the rest of the family. For those that don't know, I still don't live with the kids, with my kids anymore. So that's the main goal, success, so I can once again, you know, be their pride. Kids is, pride and joy, because I know they're my pride and joy. So sometimes as parents we fail, and aside from the failure, we fail to get back up. And that's the biggest thing you can fail at. You give up trying and give up trying to be there for your kid. That's devastating, man. Eventually, I do want to start uploading some more videos, kind of speaking regarding mental health, psychological information that we, as people, don't really grasp or sometimes even understand because we're not even around it or even know anything about it. So that is one thing in prison I learned, mental health, coping mechanisms, self care, self love, just, be empathetic and be there for others. Just a lot of great information that I feel like schools these days should be teaching you guys, but as a society, I know me and my generation, we didn't get much of it.